Hey guys, it is Coach Elliott. Today we're going to be talking about our first drop back play, and this play is called Verts. Verts. Okay, my pen working here. Okay, so with Verts, we give it that name because every receiver is going vertical. They're running a go or a stick, and I'll explain how we determine that right now. If your man, if you're a receiver and you see your man that is over the top of you, if he is that magic number, 7+ yards, if he lines up 7+ yards, oh my goodness, what is happening to my pen? If he is 7+ yards away from you, your vertical now turns into a 4-step stick. If, however, he's playing up, so let's say they're up in press coverage, then that is when you run your vertical. Tailback for this has what I'd like to call just sort of a, I don't really even know what to call this route, but it's the tailback's going to come out and he's going to fake like he's running a shoot. But instead of breaking off to run the shoot, he's going to break inside and then he's going to find grass. He's going to find grass. So for this picture, there's a bunch of space between these linebackers and he's going to settle up and he's going to show his hands to the quarterback. Quarterbacks, the way we read this is we're going to divide the field in half. So we're going to divide the field in half, and we're going to pick a side pre-snap. So before we snap the ball, you're going to know what side you're throwing to. I would recommend, and I will tell you guys, I would recommend that you throw the wide side of the field. So let's just say, for the sake of this play, the right side is the wide side of the field, or the field side. So we're going to make our reads. We're going to see that these guys are both playing inside 7 yards, so our receivers know and my quarterback knows, okay, both of these guys are going vertical. And then at first, the quarterback's going to snap the ball. He's going to take his 3-step drop, and he's reading the inside receiver. So this is the number 1. So if this is there, we're throwing it. If this guy has steps on his man, you are letting this ball go and you're dropping the ball in 15 to 18 yards. Drop the ball in at about 15 to 18 yards away. Let's say that this linebacker, he's running and he's right on our wide receiver's hip. That's when we then move our eyes to the outside receiver. And then we're going to look at our outside receiver on the go route. And if that's there, we're throwing it. If, however, the corner has that covered, that is when we turn our eyes to the tailback and we plug it to him. If the tailback is not open, that is when you are trying to make something happen with your feet. Just get some yards. I don't expect that to happen too often. Teams in our league aren't typically the best at pass coverage, but it could happen. So I want you guys to know what you need to do. All right, let's move on to 2x2 left. All right, moving on to 2x2 left right now. Let me get my pen situated here. The only thing that changes is the tailback is now on the left. So instead of 2x2 right, tailback goes to the left side, and he's acting like he's running the shoot to the left, and then he just breaks inside, finds grass. Get my pen working here. Finds grass, shows his hands to the quarterback. Quarterbacks, same thing. Pre-snap, we're looking. Quarterbacks and receivers, we're looking. Where are the defenders? If the defenders are 7 or more yards, then on any receiver, then you have your vertical now turns in to a 4-step stick. 4 steps, turn, and catch the ball. And quarterbacks, I didn't mention this in the last formation, but if you have a stick opportunity on verts, I want you to throw the stick. We're going to take the easy yards before we bomb the ball down the field. All right, so let's just say, for the sake of this formation, that the wide side of the field, so quarterbacks, we want to throw to the wide side of the field on verts. Let's just say the wide side of the field is on the left side. All right, so let's say this Will backer, let's say he's lined up at about 8 yards. Well, if he's lined up at 8 yards, his vertical has now turned into a stick. The quarterback's going to snap the ball, and he's going to throw that stick all day long. We're going to take the easy throws. We're going to take what the defense is giving us. All right, so if, let's just say, they're playing up, let's say they're about 3 or 4 yards, then both guys have the vertical. We're going to read it inside to outside. So if the F receiver, if he's got steps on this Will linebacker, we're plugging it at 15 to 18 yards. Drop the ball in the bucket about 15 to 18 yards. That's where we want the football. If that's not there, let's say this Will linebacker is a stud. He is right on the hip of our F receiver, excuse me. And then we move our eyes to the L receiver on his vertical. And if that's there, again, we're taking it. This one's probably going to be a little bit deeper of a throw. I would say at about 18 to 22 yards. That's probably where it'll be just timing-wise. So that's where we're going to put it, quarterbacks. If neither of those guys are open, if they're both covered, then our eyes turn to our tailback. Our tailback is coming around, and he's just finding grass. He's finding an opening. He's finding a seam, a lane between the lines for the quarterback to dump the ball off. If that is not there, quarterback, use your athleticism, get us some yards. All right, that's it for 2x2. Let's move into 3x1. Okay, moving into our 3x1 formation. With verts, it really does not change much. All of our receivers still have either the vert or the stick, depending on where their man is lined up. The tailback still is finding grass. Quarterback still has a 3-step drop, and he's looking first for a stick, and if the stick is not there, then we're going for the verts. All right, so 3x1 is a little bit different than 2x2. Most of the time, if we call 3x1, these 3 receivers, these 3 over here, will be on the wide side of the field. So this is where I would like you to throw it to most of the time. However, if we see our L receiver and he's just having his way with this cornerback, then we may tag this and say, all right, throw verts and look to that backside because he's got a one-on-one matchup over the top. And if we like our chances, our L receiver versus this corner right here, we're going to take it every day of the week. And it's the same thing. We're looking where are our guys lined up. And then we're looking for that magic number, 7+ yards. If they are more than 7 yards away, your vertical turns into a stick. And the quarterback, if that is the option, if that is an option, you're going to take that option. All right, so let's just say, for the sake of the play, that they're all back. They're all playing, or excuse me, they're all playing up. So if they're all playing up, on 3x1, we're going to read this inside receiver, number 1, this middle receiver, 2, this far receiver, he is not in the progression. And 3 is the tailback. So, quarterback snapping the ball. He's taking a 3-step drop. If this is open, let's just say this Mike turns and runs with him, and he doesn't have, he's got steps on him. We're dropping the ball 15 to 18 yards 18 yards. We're dropping it in the bucket. If that is not there, then we turn our eyes to this one, to the Y receiver. We're dropping that ball in. If he's got steps, 18 to 22 yards. If neither of those guys is open, we're looking for the tailback. If the tailback's not there, use your feet, get some yards. Very simple play, guys. We're going to have a lot of success with it. All right, let's move on to 3x1 left. Okay, moving on to 3x1 left. This formation, we've got the L, the F, the Y, and the R. They're still running the same vert to stick, depending on how everyone's lined up. If they are 7+ yards, your vert automatically converts into a 4-step stick. So if this, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, this will is lined up at 9 yards, the F's route now turns into a stick, and that is exactly where the quarterback's looking. That's exactly where he's going to look. If they're going to give us yards, we're going to take the yards. Simple as that. But let's say, again, for the sake of the play, that they're all playing up. They're all about 4 or 5 yards off the ball. Quarterbacks, we're going to look at the wide side of the field. We're going to take a peek backside, and if this corner is having trouble with the R, we may tag this and take a home run shot over the edge. Otherwise, we're going to look to the wide side of the field, and we're going to throw it to one of these two guys or the tailback. So let's just say this backer picks up him, and our wide receiver's outrunning him. He's got steps on him. Ball's coming in at 15 to 18 yards. He's the #1 option. Ball's coming in at 15 to 18 yards. If, however, this backer has him covered up, we're going to hitch up, and if this will does not have the F covered, our 2 option, you're going to drop the ball in, quarterbacks, at 18 to 22 yards. Drop it in the bucket. 18 to 22 yards. For the sake of timing, this guy is not in the progression unless this corner is playing off. And if this corner is 10 to 12 yards off, I still want you to plug the 4-step stick if it's there. Otherwise, he is not in the play. Let's say both our Y and our F are covered. If they're covered, then we are looking to our tailback, and he is finding grass. And he's finding grass, he's finding some space between these backers. Actually, where the grass will probably be on a play like this, if this backer squeezes on this Y, the grass is probably going to be somewhere in here. So you're going to settle up, you're going to show your hands to the quarterback, just like our settle up and noose drill, but we do before practice every single day. This is when that drill becomes important. That's why we do that drill, so that when you guys are in a situation like this, you can find grass and find yourself open. If that play isn't there, quarterbacks like we've talked about, you're going to go get some yards. And that's it, guys, for verts. We actually don't run verts out of 2x1. We keep it super simple. We're going to run verts out of 2x2 and 3x1 only. So we'll keep it super simple for you guys. This is a blast to run. Like I said in earlier videos, if you guys are struggling to grasp the concepts, watch the videos over. You can watch these videos as many times as you want. You can pause, rewind, take notes if you want to. Leave a comment, ask me a question, or you can ask me at practice or any other way you can think of, and we will get you guys squared away. All right, thanks guys. We'll catch you in the next one.